Ringekyo Namyo Ringekyo Namyo Ringekyo Namyo Ringekyo Namyo Ringekyo Namyo Ringekyo. Concentrate, meditating, levitating. Greetings from the Golden State, Mr. X to the Z. Concentrate, come walk with me. Your sound so awkwardly. I don't rhyme, I just stomp down beat. Real estate, section 8. Which one would you rather take? Concentrate, move that. Show me how you regulate. Hold up, wait, that's fake. Get these about my face. Shake the room, business boom. Turn this up now, stay in tune. Hypnotized by the way she move. Take your time, you might arrive too soon. Concentrate, 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 concentrate. Bring that back.
What's good? Here we go.
So precise, so intact. Oh my God, who is that? Hibernate, consummate. Man was made to procreate. My state generates as if my family name was Gate. Days of grace.
What's happening, fam? We here.
Go be great. Hit the brakes, track them brakes. Now you wanna run going state to state.
Who with us?
Demonstrate, mind over mayhem, no mistakes. Lift some weights, eat some steaks. But you don't really want that face to face. So let's relax, check it. Don't let your concentration snap. I love the way she arch her back, like how I'm supposed to handle that.
I want to welcome the few that are here and let you know right now, this is going to be a short show. You heard it here first. This is going to be a short show. So hit the share right now. Hit the tag. I got a feeling that all my sisters, y'all ain't gonna like it. I want to straighten the record today about something.
Calculate the next move I make. Practice keep that in my just in case. I'm no rat, can't run your race. Not too good, don't fit my taste. I love the way she make that shake, making it hard to concentrate. Bring that back. What was that? Oh my God.
Who with us?
She got back. So precise, so intact. Oh my God. Who is that? Concentrate, 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 concentrate.
Who with us this evening? Let your friends know that we here right now. It's 5 o'clock, y'all. It's Thursday. It is Friday Eve. It is weekend Eve. So let's get it. Who with us? Hit the share, hit the tag. Who was first to get in today? Let's surprise them. I got a feeling I'm gonna lose a few. I got a feeling I am going to lose a few today. But that's all right. I'm here for it. I got time today. We got an hour. Good evening. I am Wyatt. Welcome to the Wyatt-Live Drive Home 5 o'clock show. I am special. I am essential. And so are you. We all are. We learned that over the pandemic, how special we truly are. Some of your kids then found out just all the stuff you really do. And then some of you even figured out all the shit you really don't do for your kids. Somebody else doing it for your kids. We didn't figure that one out too. But I want to say good evening to everybody, man. Let's go to the board right away. I told you today going to be a short show. It's raining like hell where I live in Cincinnati. And I had to come home and get some stuff out in the back straightened up because the wind is blowing. I think some of that hurricane shit is blowing up this way. I don't know what it is, but I had tables and shit flapping all out in the back and shit falling in the water out there. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? That's what it is. So let's get to it. Let's see who was here early and bright and early with the crust in their eyes. Let's see. Good evening, Wyatt-Live. This is Stephanie High. She says, good evening, everybody. She says, good evening, family. Stephanie High was number one in the room today. What's good, cuz? What's buzzing, cousin? What's up? Good to see you here. Brenda Early came in with a real close nose. Y'all know I say that now. If she would have been far back behind, I'd have been like, second place was way back there. Second place was on some Shakai Richardson type shit. I'm just playing. I know they already done hung up on me. You hear that? I done threw the girl name in the air for coming in some other place, and they gonna be hating on me for that. That's cool. Phone lines are open if you want to cuss and fuss me out today. Let's put the phone number up real fast so everybody can get it. You can write it down, lock it in your cell phone. 513-310-0546 for the brave ones, for the ones that really want to let me have it. I'm here for it. So Brenda Early comes in a close second place and says, happy Thursday. Thank you, Brenda. You know, I can't do this without you. I can't get my days right without you. I promise. I'm starting to just not even look at my calendar anymore. I'm dependent on you, Brenda. I'm dependent on you, Brenda, to be here right at the beginning during roll call so I can get these days right. I need it. I need your help, sis. Thank you very much. Linda Reed pops in. And says, hey, what up? Strong folks with a smiley face and clapping real loud. Terrence came in. Maddox came in and says, I'm here on time today. See, this is proof how those citations, what they call that shit when we, when we write those tickets in school, what do they call? What do we call them? Them detentions. See, Terrence is showing you how them detentions pay off. Yeah, Terrence got a couple of them for being so damn late. What's up, Terrence? Thanks for showing up, bro. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing love and a little bit of support. Really appreciate you. We just having a conversation here, fam. That's what we do here. This is not a they wrong, they right, get down on people. This is not that. This is just people with great common sense, having great conversations. And all of us that think alike get an opportunity to be like, damn, I knew I wasn't the only one that felt that way about that. That's what I think it is. So let me say hello to some more people. Don't be shy. Get in here. Marlene Hawkins says hello. Hello, Marlene. I think Marlene here to see the crackhead video. I think that's the only reason why she here, because she just came in all slow like, hello, I'm just here to see the comments. I'm just here to see what I want to see. I'm just here to see the crackhead. I'm just playing. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. And I probably did wrong by naming it that. Hold on one second. Let me see what I got here. Let me see where I got this at. Do I have it up? I do, but I want to make sure I got everybody in here before I start moving on. And I want to make sure I got everything I need. Hold on one second. Let me see there it is. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Y'all heard the comeback. I just wanted to make sure I had what I needed here. All right. Let me do this, because I want to be able to read everybody's comments, because today I think going to be a comment show. I think everybody going to hit me with a little bit of something. So Marlene Hawkins comes in and says hello. I'm sure she's only here for the entertainment of the, what do they call it? The crate challenge. You know what's crazy about that crate challenge? I'll say it a little bit later, but I'm gonna mention it now. Times have changed. Them milk crates been out since I was a little boy. The only difference is, growing up where we grew up, we didn't do dumb shit like crate challenges. Y'all know I call that butterhead shit. That's like crackhead shit to me. That's just me. We didn't do that. We used them same raggedy ass crates. I used them to carry my albums around. Who remember those albums, those things that fry like bacon when they spinning around? You had the 45s and you had the 12 inches. Me being a DJ, I would put my needle on the record and listen to the remember those days? They don't even do that shit no more. CD go right into it and sound perfect. I need some bacon on my records. I need some bacon on my records. I want to hear that. See, you never loved it until it was gone. All this crispy sounding shit is not authentic to me. I got to hear some bacon on my records. And I got to hear it at the end when the needle is still on the record and the record is over. Remember those days? The record was over, but the needle was still the record was still spinning and the needle was there. And what did you always hear? Shigadum, 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 shigadum. Who remember them days? Come on now. Who remember them days? Give me some bacon and give me some thump at the end. Now I'm perfectly fine with the 8-track shit being gone. That was the raggediest. That was, I don't know who even thought that listening to a song, you had to be dope back then to put a record out, a recording out on an 8-track, because you could never rewind the 8-track. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My young folks, man, they way gone. They didn't cancel this shit record ago. You know, when I was talking about record, they don't know what I'm talking about. But an 8-track, I was a little bitty ass boy when 8-tracks was out. I remember them. I never owned any, but I remember them. And I remember that you could never rewind them. And the buttons was real big to like play a song. I mean, it was like as big as a freaking cell phone. The button was like this big, and you hit the button and the song would play on a certain track, but you couldn't rewind them. You had to listen to the whole 8-track. You had to be a dope ass songwriter and producer. Your whole damn CD, I'll call it a CD, your whole damn record had to be dope because it was no going back. All right, so let me continue to say hello to a few people. Sabrina Calloway comes in. She says, let's get it, Wyatt-Live family. Speaking of 8-tracks, Sabrina, I don't know if Midnight Star, that was way after 8-tracks. The Callaways, Midnight Star, and all that. I don't think they ever did anything on 8-track. Shit, I think they was probably teenagers at that time. I would think. Shit, I was an older young fella. I was about 7 or 8, if I'm recalling. Y'all know the 8-track numbers. Let's see who else out here. Linda Reed, she says, you say that every day, short show. I'm going to keep my comment to myself, Miss Reed, about what you say, about the things you say. All right. Hey, Miss Prince, Victoria Prince is here. She says, hello, Wyatt and Cincinnati families. Happy Thursday. All right. Miss Williams is in here. Thea Williams says, hello, everyone, with the strong hand. Let's get it. Let's get it. Crystal Washington, Crystal Wilwright. I keep saying why. Crystal Wilwright says, Crystal is in the building. Hello, everyone. What's good, Sandbox? They saying hey to you. They saying hi. Y'all know we're going to get in topic. I just always want to say what's up to my people. Victoria Prince says, only the strong survive. Damn right. Damn right. Stephen Speed came in here all slow. Can't say speed when you're moving slow. Getting in here all slow. You slow Speed. I'm just playing, Speed. Welcome, my brother. I appreciate you. Thanks, Stephen Speed. Appreciate the support. Let's see who else here. Stephanie Hyde says, raining crazy here too. Everybody saying hello to everybody. That's good. Angela Kinney pumps in. She says, good afternoon with the peace sign. I guess she ain't ready for no drama today. She throwing up peace signs. Maybe they gang signs. 2 of them, what that mean? Peace, peace, or west side, west side? What is it? I don't want to throw up gang signs on the air and shit. I might get canceled. I don't know. What's buzzing, cousin? That's what Stephanie Hyde says. Thea Williams says, uh-oh. Miss Williams, she got time today. She says, ladies world in here today. Yes, ladies world, we'll see about that. Wait till you hear about what we talking about. Did you see my post, sis? Is that the only reason why you here? You here to be a chaos agent today, aren't you? You here to be a chaos agent today. I didn't dim the lights in the back. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's mission. I'm going to show y'all how we really should have been running the Afghan mission. I'm about to do that shit right now. Speaking of that, let me say this. Before I go on, I want to say this to everyone, and I mean this wholeheartedly, and I get serious. Here's my serious moment. We have some serious problems going on over in Afghanistan that nobody's talking about, but you do hear it on Wyatt-Live. And we have troops over there right now that will be carried back in boxes, caskets. I know we live in our everyday life and everything is good and everything is, we going through what we going through, and most of us don't have any of these war problems and all of that. But it should not go unnoticed that our troops, our Marines, are over in another country right now, dodging bullets and bombs. I put a post up earlier today. People challenge me, but I had more people that really was rocking with the post than an actual challenge. But people challenge me. Where'd you get those numbers? Ain't nobody made no official post. Ain't nobody saying nothing like, listen, I ain't here to argue about people being dead and alive. I'm not here to argue about a mission. I'm not here to argue about all that. My post was to make people aware of what's going on. And I said 4 Marines dead, 3 injured. And that was earlier today from a suicide bomber. Come to find out it was much worse than that. While you counting my numbers of how did I get the information? I'm not mad at the people who did that. I just need you to know I'm not an argumentative person. It's not like I put the shit up out there so you can watch the show. I don't do that type of stuff. That's not what I do. I put things up that are relevant. I put things up that I feel that that is a necessary conversation. And today I feel this is a necessary conversation, piece of our conversation. Awareness. We have U.S. troops, mainly Marines. They always the first ones dropped into some bullshit. They always the first ones to drop down into some chaos. Whether it's their fault, or meaning America, or even if it's not our fault. They always the first ones to drop down, and they need to be saluted for that. Because it's some young fellas. It's some young dudes that drop down out of helicopters, out of planes, whatever. They over in Afghanistan, and they helping people. And some of them I seen on the plane, pictures on the plane going over to Afghanistan, and they looking like, it remind me of the movie Black Hawk Down. If you ever seen Black Hawk Down, you know what I'm talking about. These young fellas go their ass over there thinking they on a mission to rescue people, and they end up in a position where they have to rescue themselves, and that's where they are right now. I don't understand how this administration could possibly negotiate with people that don't give a shit about themselves, let alone someone else. I don't get that. I don't understand that. And if I had a son or a daughter that was in the military right now and was over in Afghanistan, my God, I pray for those parents. One of them I've already done. One reached out to me, said my relative is over there. And I said, your relative and your family will have my prayers tonight. Because if you ever seen the movie Black Hawk Down, there's no guarantees of you or your, that relative coming back home. There's no guarantees. And the problem that I have here is this could have been handled totally different. Do I want to talk about that? Not really. But I can tell you this. I knew when they sent 2,500 or 3,000 more troops over there a few days ago, I knew it was going to be a problem. So did the administration. They finally woke up. I'm not going to get all down Biden's ass for this F up that he did. It's a F up. This is truly somebody that's been in Washington for 50 years doing politics and ain't been doing nothing but getting money. That's all. You can't say he's done anything to help anybody since he's been in the office. He been up there getting paid. Y'all can say whatever you want to say, but you can't tell me that somebody is working a job. Let's get the government out of. You don't know anybody that's been working a job for 20 years and you turn around and don't know what the hell you doing on that job. That's somebody that's just been sitting there getting paid the whole time they on the job. Now, I ain't talking about the government. No, I'm talking about anybody in general. Anybody that's been sitting at a job for 50 years. You should know everything about it. You should know the do's and the don'ts. And it's a damn shame that we losing troops just like Black Hawk Down. And the first thing that came to my mind was we got 18 and 19-year-old kids over in Afghanistan. And they don't know if the enemy is standing next to them or a person they need to be helping. And before you know it, boom, you blown up. We got 12 Marines and counting down. And y'all want to give this mofo a pass like he know what the fuck he doing. Excuse my language. He don't. He don't. The reason why they pretend that these things aren't happening. What president do you know would be in a situation like that that's not on television talking to the American people about what's going on every day? Any day that any war, any confrontation America's ever had, whenever you had soldiers going down, the president was up and going and was talking to the people. It wasn't his staff members. They were in between conversations. Let's be real. Come on, don't be stupid here. Let's not play politics. I'm not. Y'all know I'm not a politic dude. This is just real talk. Y'all know the president is supposed to be the one addressing us about what's going on. You know that. You know it. Trying to catch up on my comments here. I'm going to leave this president dude alone. But let me just say this last thing. I'm sorry. Now, you don't think that those soldiers, when they had to send soldiers back over to Afghanistan to rescue this uncalculated mission, like the Taliban or like ISIS and all these terrorist groups over there, was just going to let people stand in line and get on an airplane when they at their leisure? You don't think that was going to happen, did you? Come on now. That's the most ridiculous. That's somebody that ain't engaged with what's going on in the world. That's all that is. He getting paid. He's about getting paid. The worst politicians could have done better than this. Now you got our young fellas over there fighting and dodging backpacks and shit that's blowing up. You don't know. Come on now. You trying to tell me we couldn't have got out of that country a little better than what we going out right now? And he's still sticking to it. He's like a compulsive liar. You ever dealt? I know we all. Let's take Biden out of it. You know, we all knew somebody that would lie to us right in our face. You know they lying to you. And they'll stick with that lie all the way. All the way. And then the truth is right there in front of both of y'all. 2 + 2 is 4. No, it ain't. 2 + 2 is 4, bro. Look, 2 apples. These 2 apples. That's 4 apples. No, it ain't. I told you what it was. And they so confident in their lies. I know several people like that. And they be lying to me right in my face. And I just be like, okay, you know, be all you can be. I don't give a fuck. You know, this dude is, I'm confident that I feel good, the decision I made. This is your president. Still feel good? A week ago, you said. Cleopatra checks in. A week ago, you said that if anybody holds us up, matter of fact, you know what? I'm not even going to be the one to tell you. I'm going to let you see what Biden said a week ago. How about that? Let me pull it up on the screen. Let me see if I got it first. And I want to know if he still feel this way. Because he done said a whole lot of things that ain't equaled up to what was, you know, it ain't going to be people wanting to get on on helicopters, and we ain't going to have to save people off the buildings and all that. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what happened. I'm going to show you this one last video, and then I'm going to get off of this topic because it burns me up. But this is your president talking a few days ago.
American troops are performing this mission as professionally and as effectively as they always do, but it is not without risks. As we carry out this departure, we have made it clear to the Taliban, if they attack our personnel or disrupt our operation, the U.S. presence will be swift and the response will be swift and forceful. We will defend our people with devastating force if necessary. Our current military mission will be short in time, limited in scope, and focused in its objectives. get our people and our allies as safely as quickly as possible. And once we have completed this mission, we will conclude our military withdrawal. We will end America's longest war after 20 long years of bloodshed.
Now, is it me? But do you feel the same way that I feel right now? And what I'm feeling is he ain't gonna do shit but continue this bullshit mission. That's like, he reminds me of how we used to play football back in our day. We would be like, what we gonna do? Nah, huddle, 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 huddle. Everybody would stand around and huddle up. And then one quarterback would stand there and draw a play up in the dirt. And that's what I think they doing down there right now. I think they got a huddle going on, and I think they got their finger in the dirt and saying, hey, Ronnie, you run this way, and then, hey, Jay, you throw this way, and then if you open, I'm going to hit you. And if you go, that's what the shit is going on right now. Stephanie Hyde said that Biden is on the news now. He talking about deadly attack in Kuwait. Kuwait, he said he will defend our people with deadly force. Okay. All right. We'll see. He done said a whole lot of shit. We'll see. We'll see. You know what that showed me? He the quarterback putting his hand in the dirt, trying to steer these guys in the right direction. He's obviously going against his military people because they've been doing this shit way too long to have this type of misdirection. You're only as strong as your leadership. You're only as strong as your leadership. That's it. Them guys went to military school. They went to ITTs and all this old goofy, good shit. They're not as dumb as him. They just have to follow his lead. They can recommend all the right things in the world to do, but it's got to be whatever he say. That's why he stood up on the podium like he made the best decision in the world and said, it all falls on me. The buck falls on me, as if you just broke down and shattered something special. You said that with so much confidence, Mr. President, and within 48 hours, you got military. How many people died in Afghanistan in the last 2 years? I'm talking military, United States military. How many have died in the last 18 to 24 months? 0. 0. You put this bullshit exit plan together. I don't even want to call it an exit plan. You pulled out with no plan. It's pretty damn obvious. I'm ashamed. You got a lot of people mad at you right now, Mr. President, and it's even people such as myself that don't even follow politics like that. I'm a businessman, and I know for a fact if you was a CEO of any company, the board would fire your ass and find a way to try to take your pension away from you. So I just want to say this to my military people, friends and family, God bless you. Without those Marines over there, there's no telling what would happen to those people. And for the families who have fallen Marines right now, you are in my prayers. I promise you. I promise you. Because this is like Black Hawk Down. This is like Marines, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids over there right now. Some of them had smiles on the face. And they were over there doing good and felt good. I seen them playing ball with the kids. I seen them pouring water on the face. I seen them playing soccer with the kids. Engaged. And now you got 18, 19-year-old kids that don't know if they standing next to a bomb with a backpack or somebody's luggage to try to get to freedom. That's a disaster, Mr. President. That's a disaster. And you won't even give us the respect to answer questions prior. If y'all would have held his ass accountable for not answering questions days ago, maybe he would have been able to give us an answer, and it would have maybe diverted some of these decisions that he's doing. I'm just saying, make somebody accountable for the things that they doing and saying, and then maybe you'll get a different outcome. That sounds so familiar on Wyatt-Live, don't it? Holding people accountable for their decisions. The only problem, Mr. President, here is the bad decision that you made didn't cost you your life. It cost 12 Marines their life. And those families will never forget that. They only have the memory of their children now. And you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest with you. This is going to go down 20 years from now. I know y'all know 20 go by real fast. I remember when my 20-year-old was a baby. I remember bringing her home from the hospital. So 20 years blow by like that. But 20 years from now, some of them kids that was walking out on the runway to get on those planes to be shipped somewhere else, to live somewhere else, you're going to hear them stories one day. You're going to hear the truth. You're going to hear the truth. You're going to hear some of those teenagers that will be 34, 35 years old at that time, and they're going to say, I was fortunate to get out of there. We were just scrambling. We had to lie. We had to do this. We had to do that. Afghanistan has 34 million people in it. 34 million people. And all we getting is little snapshots of an airport. Imagine what's going on. How could you possibly think you got a handle on a situation with 34 million people in it? And so-called 70 to 75 Taliban soldiers. I'm talking about the ones that's supposed to be defending. And let me just ask you guys something before we get in the topic. Did we think we were sending 25 Marines over to Afghanistan to put people in line to come back to America or go to a different country, you know, to house them, to make them live free? Did you think we were sending 2,500 Marines over to do that? And just line everybody up and help them get on the plane and put their bags on the stand and then help them put their seatbelt on and say, you're off on your way. This is going to be peaceful. This government negotiated with the Taliban. And Joe Biden, don't you dare blame another administration. Everything that you blamed that Trump did wrong or whoever the last administration and the administration before him, everything that was wrong there, and you had on your watch now, you had an opportunity to reverse. You could have redone that deal with the Taliban or whatever. You could have done all of that. But the simple fact that you knew the dates, and we didn't know any dates about getting out of there, that wasn't public information. We just learned a couple weeks ago you was leaving. So did some of the people. So did some of the people. How could you leave billions of dollars, Black Hawks, machinery, and all they gonna do, the shit they can't use because their minds may not be tech savvy. All they gonna do is sell it to the Russians or to China. Pennies on the dollar. And here's the other thing that you don't know. Some of the same people that we, being America, trained, air pilots, tank operators, engineers, all those people, they're Taliban. They're going to be in the Taliban. They're going to be with over in Afghanistan working with those folks. Now, there's so many different groups over there. I can't keep track, but it doesn't matter. That's a country that has been housing terrorism forever. Not in the last 20 years. I'm disappointed. And what I'm more disappointed at is nobody's going to hold him accountable but the people that you think want to just give him a hard time because they don't think he should be in office. I'm an independent. And I'm telling you now, I haven't seen, y'all talk about people putting bleach on and all this old shit. Y'all laughed at that. Y'all thought the shit was cute or thought he was being ignorant or stupid or dumb. Well, you know what? I done seen two ignorant, dumbass things come out of this administration straight out the gate and they go ignored. You can't get them to say the word border, let alone put it in one of their speeches. You can't get them to say illegal people coming to the country raising all type of problems. I'm not saying the people raising problems, but it is an issue. Isn't it a slap in the face to the people that come here, legally? This is ridiculous to me. And now we're dying. Now we got Marines, we got military people dying. And I guarantee you, before this conversation is up, before this show, before our conversation is up, I can guarantee you they will report more deaths of Marines. Not that I want it. I hope those numbers are wrong. I hope they say it was something different. Oh, our bad. Those was Taliban people with Marines uniforms on. Because I got a feeling when they said it's time to go, everybody got on their shit and left everything behind. You don't think they just left machines and bazookas and helicopters and tanks and shit? No, they left a lot of shit. They left sewing machines. They left extra uniforms. They left everything. Come on, man. Y'all know they did. They did. They left a lot of shit. And like I said the other day, if your ass happened to be in the barracks and you was in the bathroom too damn long, they might have left your ass there too. Moving on. Uncoordinated, no plan having ass administration. Let me ask you this. Why did the only time this administration talk about the border is when Trump was housing kids and treating them like animals? Since then, you don't hear him say nothing about the border. But during the debates, during the time, I told y'all this was going to happen. Don't act like Wyatt-Live did not have this. It was sitting right there ready to go. I said, give it 6 months. I said, if he wins 6 months later, I'll be talking about this same topic. He won't be bringing up the same things that he's bringing up now because this man can't debate. All he doing is riding off the wave of how stupid Trump is. He's bringing nothing tangible to the table. He's not talking about anything that's benefiting us. He just, like Kamala Harris, all they did, you know he's stupid. Do I really have to say anything? Y'all know he dumb. I mean, do I really have to show y'all how smart I am? Y'all know he's just a liar. What does that mean, sis? If you really want to show somebody how dumb they are, tell us the right thing. Don't let them say something stupid and then you just look like, told y'all he was stupid. Sometimes you got to be the smart one for real. She over in China or over in an Asian country talking about Christmas presents and shit. Get your Christmas shopping done now because shipping's going to be a monster. Really? Get your ass back over here and let's get this Afghanistan program together because Joe Biden is drawing up plans in the dirt in the huddle. Stop it. No, it's not normal to leave that shit, Justin. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. No, it's not. The only reason why they did that shit in Vietnam is because it was dated and it was time they had brought up new technology anyway. No, it's not normal to leave artillery. You only leave structure. And in certain situations, they'll blow that shit up before they leave. But no, you don't leave $800 million worth of military arms. No, you don't do that. That's not normal. All right, let's get to it, man. I don't even know if I can do this. Give me a second. Hit the share button. You ain't got to like me. Let me see what I got. I'm going to knock that off my list. And I'm hoping that the numbers don't change on our death count of our Marines. Let me get my mind right. It's kind of hard to hear this shit right before you come on the air, you know, hours before you come on, and then you listening to what's going on and you want to talk about something. And then you sitting here like, man, I seen this frames ago. I seen this frames ago. When they said they were sending 2,500 more troops to Afghanistan, I said there's going to be some deaths. Because that means they sending a rescue squad. They're sending a rescue squad. That means whatever they have in plan is not working, or they didn't have a plan. It's pretty obvious there was no plan. The plan was to leave. That was it. The plan was to leave, and they left. Joe Biden said it himself. I made the decision. Buck stops here. It's on me. Well, guess what? The chaos is just now beginning. Have you seen the videos? Have you seen the videos? All right, so listen. What I would like to get into, I don't know how I'm gonna convert. I don't know how I'm gonna shift this energy. But fam, I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to do my best. Let me see if I had this video. This might loosen some people up. Let me see. We all know about them crate challenges. All right, this might change my mood a little bit. Let me see, where is my video? Let me see if I have it. Y'all know I had a let me see, where is it? I don't know what I did with it, but it don't matter. I got a couple pictures that might help explain. Let me see here. And Linda Reed said, coming up on an hour. Do we need a break? Let me see something. Now, y'all know this shit is getting out of hand. All right? Y'all know this shit right here is getting out of hand. Now, who Uncle Earl is this? Who Uncle Leroy is this? Y'all know this shit getting out of hand. Y'all got them old heads out here on these damn crates, man. Y'all need y'all ass kicked for this. What y'all don't see in this picture, and he got a cheerleader now. You know they about to split that little money. Him and Doretha, whatever her name is, they gonna split that money. You know that. Now, come on, bro. Why y'all doing this out here like that to these old heads? Needing that, knowing they stimulus money then dried up. Why y'all gonna do this? I mean, why are we doing this? Who Uncle Earl is that? Who uncle is this? Now, why I do this, I'm gonna try to find the video real fast because I had it loaded. So let me do this. While I talk to y'all, I'm gonna send this to us. And I just wanna know, who the hell uncle is this shit? Who done did this? Now, what y'all don't see, let me put this picture up because y'all about to, you might get weak on this. When you see the video, you definitely gonna get weak. But what y'all don't see in this picture here, let me pull it up again. I told y'all this is butterhead shit. You understand? For those that know what I'm talking about when I say butterhead shit, you know what I'm saying. Let me try to find this video because in the video you can clearly see why I call it butterhead shit. Let me see something. One tick here, guys, while it's loading. Y'all don't see in this picture what I see, but you'll see it in the video. But in bro man's right hand, see his right hand down there about to look like he about to tap his Nikes. Bro got Nikes. He got a lighter in his hand. He ready. He trying to get this money. He ready. He got a lighter in his hand already. Bro going up with the lighter in his hand. See it? It's a green lighter. You can see it in his right hand right there at the top. He getting his money. He don't give. He getting that money. He getting that money, yo. And y'all know how wrong this shit is for these young boys be sending these butterheads up on these crates and shit. Somebody gonna get hurt. Well, you know, the contest, Miss Reed, is sometimes, you know, the block could give you a little something, like $50. They sending these dudes up on these crates for 50. Let me show you. Y'all gonna be surprised when you see this video. I'm gonna send it real fast so I can so I can show it to you guys. I don't know what happened. I had it. It was ready to go. I don't know what happened to it, but I resent it. But what I don't understand is why we doing this to our old heads, man. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. Let me see. Where is it? It'll come here in a second. Meanwhile, we'll just talk. I'm not a big fan of the crate challenge and this and this and that. I'm not on that. You know, back in my day, I probably would have had a great time with it. I probably would have $20 people to death. I got 20 on it, bro. Go ahead. Do that shit. 20 on it and waited for somebody to run and kick the crates from up under one of them. And I probably would have peed my pants laughing so damn loud and crazy. I was that type of dude. I was that type of dude. Sinclair, what up, though? She said, they doing it to themselves. What you mean? They don't have to do it. Well, they being enticed. A little bit of cash. You know, that stimulus money then dried up. And that money gone. Now what? You got to go back doing butterhead shit. And yeah, I done seen some videos where they done made good things. You know, some sisters and brothers and stuff going up and taking the walk and doing some ballet moves and all that old goofy shit up on top of there. I done seen some good ones. And yeah, but for the most part, I done seen more wigs falling off and all that shit than anything. Yeah, I didn't seen them. Let me see here. Where you at? Twinkle, twinkle. Let's go. Still taking a while. My goodness. I just can't see myself doing that to somebody. I can't see myself doing that. Maybe because it's my age. But thinking back on some of the stuff we used to have some butterheads do in the neighborhood, man, this ain't too far removed from that type of shit. I think we probably done some things that were a little bit more dangerous, quite frankly. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. But I'm being honest. It's a long video, so it's taking a minute, but I'm getting it. Anyway, let's have this conversation about a couple things while we waiting. There's my brother Donnie. Donnie in here. What's good, bro? How's you and the wife? It's the Rona got these people acting a fool. Shit, it's that Rona and that crack. And that lean and all that other shit they doing. And that weed that they dropping all that other stuff into. You know, they got names for marijuana and weed and shit now. They did back when I was coming up, but it was nickel bag. It was, you know, shit like that. Go get a nickel bag. They got shit out here called Killer Farilla and Thriller Miller and Killer Schiller and all that whole shit. And I'm like, you about to smoke some Killer Dilla? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the shit, the name of it should let you know not to really mess with it. Mushrooms. That sound like it'll have you toe up. Backweed killer, some shit. I don't know. At least Frank Lucas just had blue magic. That was heroin, though. I'm sorry. Let me get to it. I'm sorry. I was just having a little fun with it. Let me just say while I'm waiting on a video, I heard some chaos today. I heard some chaos agents today speaking. Let's see. Miss Williams comes in. Let's see. Miss Williams came in. She said this. She says, reminds me of the ancient empire. They're just bringing more bad energy to the world. You know, it's funny that you say that, Miss Williams, because I'm not really one of those type of people that talk about like comic books and shit like that. But I grew up on Star Wars and you know, all that type of stuff. And this world is kind of real to the shit that we used to see in Star Wars and all that. Like Star Trek. Don't them Afghanistans and shit, don't that remind you of like the Klingons and shit? You don't think they look like the Klingons? And I'm talking about the ones that used to fight Captain Kirk and them. I mean, real Klingons and shit. You trying to tell me this don't look like the Klingons and shit on that attack Captain Kirk and them? Them Klingons. Them motherfucking Klingons, yo. Who remember the Klingons? Now y'all know that looked like a board of Klingons, and I didn't mess with them. No, sir. Telling me this don't look like he about to tear some shit up on the ship of Klingon. This don't look like the planet Klingon. That don't look like a Klingon right there. Fuck out of here. You know it, do. That's a Klingon. And he'll tear your ass up. He'll tear you up. And they have no compassion. I'm sorry to feel that way. I'm sorry to tell you that truth. But they have no compassion for women, self, life. Who else could send a kid or somebody with a book bag with a bomb on their back? Who else could do some shit like that? And say that there's 32, or what is it, 32 virgins in the sky waiting for you? Who else could do some down like dirty shit like that? If you got 32 virgins in the sky, master, you go get them. I'm gonna use the 32 women that's down here. I want what's right here. I don't want 32 virgins. Give me 2 freakies down here and I'm cool. I don't need 32 virgins in the sky. I don't need that. Sorry, I didn't mean to get too personal with it. Let me see if I got this video yet, man. This shit is like, it's like 2.5 minutes or something, or 2 minutes or something like that. And I just want to make sure I have it queued up. But let me tell you what I heard earlier today. Let me see if, yeah, Mama Deb said they F you up. Linda, Miss Williams says it does. You was meaning the Klingons, right? Stephanie High says Biden has messed up. You think? Victoria Prince says they need to get all the ammunition before they exit Afghanistan. No, they need to just blow the shit up. It would have been better off just burned or destroyed before you give it to some people where when ISIS and the Taliban, well, ISIS and what's the other group? ISIS and not the Taliban, but they're not all that great either. I don't care what you think. I don't know why you sitting there trying to negotiate with the Klingons. Have they ever lived up to telling the truth? Has Captain Kirk ever shook hands with a Klingon? Except on the older editions, the late editions, they had a Klingon on the starship. I didn't even watch it at that point. I started growing up a little bit. But I never trusted his ass. And ain't it a shame that they made him like dark-skinned people? Like, they was the black people and they was the bad people. Why? I love Star Trek. Damn it, it was my after-school program show. Some of y'all was watching, I am a Bill. I am strictly a Bill. I wasn't watching that. I was watching Captain Kirk. All right, come on, man. What's going on with my video, man? I heard something today. I heard a chaos situation, of course. Let me just give you an idea what's going on in this world. Here in America, let's come back across seas. Let's get back in the world of the water. Now, y'all know one of the things that I've been pretty successful at, if you want to call it that, I dibble dab in real estate, properties, and things of that nature. That's not just commercial space, it's housing, homes, things of that nature. We got this thing going on right now that we have families that look like us, look like me, look like you, some of you. And they're saying that our properties are being hit low. Now, y'all know I had this story on maybe a couple months ago. And I've reached out. We've had this conversation on Wyatt-Live before. This is not new. I just happened to hear something today. But I read a story about a family that lived in Indianapolis. That's what brought our conversation up here. A family that had a house in Indianapolis who says that the appraisal hit their house for $100,000 less than what the property value is. And they found it to be discriminative. And I'm trying to figure out, I want black folks, listen, me, my folks, us. I will never be the guy that'll come on here and say America doesn't have racist traits, racist situations. We haven't been done great here. It has a history of doing bad shit. Systems do. But there are certain situations and certain systems that it's really hard to get away with the shit that used to happen in the 60s and the 50s and shit like that. Well, I heard a family talking today, a local family, and just so happens, once again, some shit came up that yours truly know a little bit about. And this family came in and said that they had been discriminated against with their property value that was hit low by the appraisal. I had to hear this one because now you're talking somewhere local. I didn't know what area of Cincinnati it was, but damn it, I got to hear this story because now I done read the one in Indianapolis. I tore that one up. I figured out what the problem was in that one. Then I heard one in like Missouri somewhere, found out what the problem was in that one, tore that shit up, didn't even think about it, was not racial at all. So now I'm like, ooh, I got one local. This will be great. I can't wait to measure it up. I hope I can find something that's valid. Some of you probably heard the story because some of you listen to these programs as well. I don't have anything against them. It's just I don't like when chaos is spread out and it's not the right information and it keep people on go. Well, this was a black family. Husband and wife had 2 kids, and guess where they lived? In Cincinnati here, but not quite in Cincinnati, but in Loveland. Now, let me ask you something. How many people that look like me live in Loveland? You know when you're on a cruise ship and the land ain't nowhere to be found no more? And you be like, God damn, we far away. You can't see nothing but water, all different angles. That's how I feel when I ask that question. You got to look that far to find a black person in Loveland, Ohio. You know how I know that? Because I owned a house in Loveland. I owned a house on Columbia Trail, Loveland, Ohio. Bought it, sold it. And I was the only black person within miles. Oh, don't be so sad, Prince, yet. You ain't heard it. Don't be sad until you get details and know the facts. I'm just saying, Queen. Save the compassion for some real shit. Well, let me give you a little insight of some things. I took the liberty of looking something up. The demographics of Loveland. Loveland is 92% white, 4% black, 2% Asian, and 2% other. That's what it is. So here's what the story said. The couple, very articulate brother and sister, very articulate. I mean, can sound official. They say that an appraiser came to their house, did an appraisal, and did it wrong. And did it wrong. Okay. What was wrong? Well, they hit the house 8 years. 8 years. I see what you're saying, Donnie. Since the other people aren't white, consider all of them grouped in. You can't really do it that way. But I know what you're saying. Since they're not white, they're considered to maybe be black. But you don't call Asians black. And you don't call some of the others, like, you know, Pakistanians or Indians that live in the area, you don't really name them black either. Let me explain something to you. Miss Reed says, Miss Parker was my old manager. Okay, well, let me explain something to you. I'm not trying to be a hater. Y'all know how I am about chaos shit. You know how I am about chaos. And if you're going to bring it, and if you're going to use racism as the leader of the pack, if you're going to put, if racism is going to be your reason or your argument, you better have proof. You better make sure that it's solid. You better make sure that it's concrete when you push it out on the waves and you push it down people's throat. Because what happened is false shit like that gets watered down and it punishes those that are truly going through racial situations. That's what happens. That's why I don't have any compassion for situations like that. If you know what kind of black folks, and I'm not saying it's necessarily these folks. I don't like black folks that live one way and be around certain people, and then when shit go wrong, then they want to come to the community and ask us for the compassion, and then they want to use us to march in the streets and make shit right for them. I know that might not sound good to some ears. I know that don't sound good. I give you a perfect example, and I don't want to shit on his grave, but Michael Jackson did that to us. Michael Jackson was living a star life, living in Hollywood, surround himself with the boy from what's that show? Home Alone. And he had all these major friends, and he was going overseas, and he had kings and queens and princesses and all that old shit. And he ain't said nothing about the Nation of Islam. Soon as his ass got in trouble, he want the Nation of Islam because he want the black people on his side to help him get through all that child sex shit. He came back home, y'all. OJ did the same shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Is it just me? Am I the only one that understand and recognize how we have my mother used to call it this. These are not my words. Excuse my language. My mother used to tell me every black man will have his nigga wake up day. It's called a nigga wake up call. Sorry, my white brothers and sisters, but this is some shit you don't know nothing about. My mother told me, Ran, one day. She called me Ran all the time. She said, Ran, I don't care how successful you get or whatever you do in this life, boy. And I didn't have a dime. She said, you will get your nigga wake up call. Mama was right. A few times. Well, let me get back to subject. These folks are saying that they had to take their pictures down. Well, first, I skipped a lot. They said that the first appraiser came in and did some things and asked some unfamiliar questions and did a lot of shit that wasn't cool, asked questions. And what they didn't understand is they never should have been home in the first place when the appraiser came in, because you're vulnerable. You taking your property value down. They're gonna ask questions like, well, how did that crack happen? Or what? You don't even put yourself in the position. But before I start trying to tell you what you need to do, if an appraiser is there and you're there, first thing you should have did was you should have made sure your realtor handled all that shit. Realtor. They hate the way I say that. Realtors hate the way I say that. But guess what? You should have had your realtor handle all that. You should have had them make sure that the inspector or that the appraiser that was coming was legit and good. And it doesn't matter if he's a racist or not. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. That has nothing to do with your property. He could have some biases. I understand that. But let me ask you something. What good does hitting your property do him? Hitting your property low do for him? If anything, it's hurting the 92 percentile of the white people in your neighborhood, sis. You do realize that, right? You do realize that. If your house is worth, I'm just going to throw some numbers in the air. If your house is worth $300,000 tax value, and they come in here and hit it for $200,000 and it sells for $200,000, what do you think it's doing to the property values around you? The 92 percentile around you. What do you think that property value is doing? It's tearing it up. So it don't quite work that way. Here's what happened. The person came in as an inspector, gave their price, they wrote it up wrong. And as they wrote it up wrong, it was major things that was wrong. So maybe you had a bad inspector. Maybe he wasn't racist. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he didn't know what he was doing, because I can look up what year your house is. How could a person on paper put down your house is 8 years older than it really is? He put the house down for being 15 years old, but it was only 7 years old. So you hit it 8 years. You hit it 8 years high. That right there. Here's why I say this. The appraisal came in $92,000 less than what it should have been. Sound like a big number, don't it? Sound like something that should never happen, right? It's not the first time it happened. It happens to white people too. It happens to black people. You get a bad appraiser. You get a bad inspector coming in there. He might have been new. Listen, if you hit a house, that $92,000, sis and bro, that could have been just in that 8-year difference based on the market. Just based on the market. A house 8 years older than my house right now might be $50,000 less, might be $100,000 less. Depends on the market. Let me just say this. Loveland, Ohio right now, the housing market, I don't know where you guys are on this show. The housing market in Cincinnati, Ohio, or in Ohio, period, is a hot market right now. Soon as you list a house, you will get offers if it's in these hot firecracker areas. And I don't know too many unfirecrackered areas. But Loveland, Westchester, Mason, these areas, soon as you put your house up, you getting offers. 5, 6 offers right now. So this lady says that they had to take their pictures down. It sounds way too familiar to the story in Indianapolis to me. I was trying not to be scared about it, but it fit too much in the mold of what I seen. And what I'm showing you is this. They took the pictures down and put white people pictures up, they said. And then the appraisal came in right. But was it the same appraiser? No. It was a different appraiser who did it the right way, who put the numbers where it needed to be. Now, maybe they had a bad inspector or appraisal the first time for making those type of mistakes, because you can't tell me that those aren't correctable mistakes. I've sold and bought. I'm not a realtor, but I've done this too many times for you to tell me that you can't change the value of my house based on what the inspector said when there's a default on the paperwork. That's just a flat out lie. That's just a lie. It's pretty obvious that you can go to you can go to your auditor's office right now and pull up any property in the city of Cincinnati and look at the property value. It's the tax value. Look at the land and look at the property value. Put them together and there's your tax value. Pretty damn easy to do that. Also, there's this little thing in there called the date that it was built. The date that the house was built. So you trying to tell me just because an inspector came in and said some wrong shit, like the obvious date is wrong, that they gonna stick with that? The bank gotta stick with that. The loan officers gotta stick with that. Come on now. Here's the beauty of the situation. Before I get down to, since they like to do the white and black shit all the time, here's the beauty of the situation. At the end of the conversation, a realtor calls in. Happens to be a sister. And ended all that nonsense. The first thing the sister said was, yes, there are disparities. There is racism in real estate, but this don't sound like it, because these are mistakes that happen. These are things that happen, and these are things that are easily corrected when you're sitting down on paper. These are very easy things that could have been handled. And they pointed out, the realtor lady, the real estate lady pointed out all the things that the couple did wrong for this not to happen to them. This ain't necessarily racism, but y'all made some errors by, first of all, being there. Second of all, where's your real estate? Where's your realtor? And here's my question, since you want to pull a O.J. Simpson and a Michael Jackson and come to the black platforms, and now you want us to hear your issues. You're not even really from here. You're from like up north, Toledo, or whatever that is. I ain't mad at you for that. Not at all. But now you want to come to the brothers, or, the black platform. And my question to you is this. Did you use a black realtor? You so conscious. You so black conscious. Did you use Steve Spencer? Did you use Tiffany Daniels? Did you use Joyce Leathers? Did you use anybody that we know? Maybe she did. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. But it don't sound like it. You know why? Because the lady made a comment. She said, well, we learned some things out of this, and my realtor learned some things out of this. And I can tell you right now, if you would have used a black realtor, they would have already known to do certain things, right? Since that's what's going on since that's what's going on in real estate. Real estate agents would have already known how to prepare certain situations. Nah, Miss Reed, I don't like that. I don't like that, because that's that chaos agent shit to me. That's that chaos agent stuff. And I hope this don't mess us up. But here's what happens. We all know that in order to get some form of wealth in this country, it's all about property ownership. And when chaos agents do shit like this, it's not teaching us how to be prepared for it. It distorts us from doing it sometimes. It make people who don't even, I ain't doing all that shit. I ain't going through all that. I ain't about to be treated like that. I ain't about to do that. They ain't gonna give me no loan anyway. That's the type of shit that happens when you hear stories like this. People come back and say, I ain't even gonna do that. They ain't giving black people no loans for no businesses and ain't never applied for one. That type of mentality. All I'm doing is speaking about a subject, and I might be all the way wrong, but I bet you somebody out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the realtor came in and said what needed to be said. And I'm like, whoa, I'm sorry this got it. I'm sorry the show had to end. I'm sorry the show had to end. Let me try something, because that realtor said everything that needed to be said. And Miss Reed, since it's your buddy and we ain't trying to put nobody on blast, reach out to your buddy and ask, did you use a black realtor? I'm curious to know. Just DM me. I won't put it on the air. Just reach out to me and let me know if that family used a black realtor, but you want to come back to the black community and tell them how you've been done wrong and this and this and that. You can get mad. Y'all can get mad at me if you want to, but y'all know this shit happens all the time. Y'all know it happens all the time. OJ and all the rest of them. You want to live amongst certain people, and then when shit go bad, then you want us to come to the rescue and save the day, or make sure you get treated fairly. That's crazy to me. Now, Angela Kinney, I know you probably know. I'm sorry, sweetie. I don't want to put you on blast, but you probably heard exactly what I heard. You may not even agree with me, Angela, but if you really put brakes on the shit that was said and what was done, if you really break it down, if you put brakes on it, break it down, did it really add up? Did you hear what the realtor lady said? The realtor lady said exactly what I know is the truth. And I'm telling you right now, it's almost impossible to hit somebody's house $100,000 off than what it really is worth. It serves nobody well, except whoever gonna come in and buy it maybe. But come on now. Anybody that has a house that's worth $500,000, you pretty well off, you pretty smart about how this shit work. And you should know if somebody's gonna hit your house $100,000 off, you should know how to be able to see what's wrong. Nobody was stuck into that $100,000 off, $92,000 off. Nobody was stuck on that. I say this is as much energy as I would give a story like that. Next, if I put some more energy into something like that, it's going to show everybody and teach everybody how to get property. I'm looking for it, Miss Price, Miss Prince. I'm going to get it. I don't know why it keep not wanting to come over to me, but I'm getting it. You want to see the crackhead? See how y'all do? See how y'all do? Don't want to hear no real shit. Y'all want to see crackheads fall off of crates. Let me get it again. Let me see what's going on. I don't get this. I don't understand why I'm having a problem doing this. But we're going to give it a shot one more again. And maybe it's because it's such a huge foul that it's having a problem. Miss Kenny, let me ask you a question. How do you know? You mind me asking you that? Is that like, are you real close or something to those folks? Or did you just get out of it what I got out of it and you can tell? Because the question that came, that was that something that they said made me understand that they used somebody that was not of color because that person learned a lesson also. That's what was said. And I'm like, too many of us in the business world out here, it ain't teaching us. You know, it ain't teaching us. I mean, we already a couple steps ahead of that. Let me see something. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if I can get this thing. Let me see. There's perfect person to come in right here. Tiffany Daniels says, what story was that? Was she refinancing or selling her house? They were selling the house, sis. They put the house on the market. Hold on one second. They put the house on the market in the same day. You know how the market is right now, Tiffany. You out there. Hold on one second. They put the house on the market, and the same day that it hit the market, it attracted 5 offers. Nothing unusual about that. I put a house up on the market a year ago in February of 2020, right before the pandemic. It had 7 offers the same day, same night. Let me see. Okay, and an inspector happened to show up, Tiffany. I was going to text you this morning and see if you was listening to that. An inspector showed up and gave it an appraisal and hit it for $92,000 less, and the couple felt like the only reason why it got hit for less for $92,000 is because they were black and they had their black pictures on the wall, their pictures on the wall. This was locally. This was a black couple right here in Ohio, up in Loveland, 92% white. Now, we know some disparities happen, but when people get their house hit for $92,000 less of the value, I don't know if it's necessarily racism or if it's just somebody just don't know what they're doing. It could have been a new inspector, a new appraiser. But when you miss things on paper, that's obvious, like the house, he wrote it down, it was like 15 years old when in fact it was only 8 years old. These are problems that can be corrected. These are clerical errors that you're not locked in at that $92,000 less price. That's happened to me several times where there's been things on the appraisal that wasn't right. And we just went back to the drawing board and had it fixed. I don't understand what the problem was. I see the easy play. I hear the easy excuse of it's racial. And then they went in and got another appraiser who hit it the right way because she's saying they put white pictures up on the wall. I mean, come on now. Maybe this appraiser was a veteran, the second one. Maybe this appraiser wasn't drunk like the other one may have been. Maybe this appraiser was just a better person. Maybe he was a racist, the first one. But I don't understand. I don't understand. No, it's not necessary, Miss Kenny. It don't matter. It really don't matter. The shit is already at. I understand. Trust me. Here's my biggest question. Tiffany, you still here? My biggest question is, I know they didn't use a black realtor. I know they didn't, because I could tell by the reaction of what the realtor said to them when they said, well, this is something new. It's like anything else. If you black, you know what you have to do in certain situations. You know what we can and what we can't do when we walk in certain places. You know that. There ain't a black realtor that ain't gonna tell their clients how to handle certain situations, what to do, what to make their homes look like. You know, first of all, the realtor came in and said on the show, she said, look, the first thing you did wrong was have all that shit up. Because everybody, it don't matter if you're black or white, you should take all that shit down. They don't want to see all of that personal stuff. Show the home. It's okay to make it look homey sometime with a little, you know, some stuff. Look, there you go. There you go, Tiffany. Tiffany Daniels says, I always tell my sellers to take down personal photos and valuables on the day of listing. If it's off that much, just get a second appraisal. Thank you. Why does it have to be racial? And then when somebody came, hey, Tiff, here's what happened, babe. A realtor came on called into the show and was like, nah, I see a lot of things wrong with this. See, this is just some chaos agent shit. And what I don't like is it hurts people like you, Tiff, when you're trying to get people to buy, when you're trying to get people to want to take an extra step and build wealth or build some type of, you know, equity in themselves by having some property. These type of things distract people from doing what's right. And then they go off and start thinking, well, you know, they don't do shit fair. They treat black people wrong. I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to buy no property. They be racist over in the property buying, and they racist and shit like that. They gonna hit your property. You gonna put all your money in the property. It ain't gonna be worth what white people property worth. All that old goofy shit. Check my portfolio if you think I'm lying. I've been buying properties. I've invested in properties. I've had my name on them. I've talked to appraisers. I've been around appraisers. I've bought commercial property. I've done it all, okay? I ain't no mogul or no shit like that, but you're not going to hit my property. You're not going to make my property $92,000 less. And the reason why I feel like you hit it less is because I'm black. That's too easy, man. That's just too easy. That's just too easy of a chaos situation. And to fall for that shit, I ain't falling for it. Sorry. And Tiffany we had a conversation. Tiffany Daniels and I had a conversation about it. She said, yes, things like that happen. You know, there's racial disparities in the real estate game. Y'all know that better than I do. I don't hear the backroom talk. Y'all make y'all commissions and shit, and it's cool. But I think the racial disparities are in different areas, just like in other professions. I think, quite frankly, and this is not me shooting shots at my people that I love. I got friends that do that job. But I would think living in Cincinnati, let's just use Cincinnati as an example. I think Cincinnati is a tough nut. I think Cincinnati is a tough place to be a real estate agent if you're black. I don't think that you can't sell a lot of homes, but I think in order to be one of those that can sell $1 million house and get what, a 6% commission, that's a very hard nut. Because unfortunately, it goes back to a whole lot of things. The things that we blame other people for, we actually contribute to it. I can't think of one piece of property. Now, y'all, my brothers and sisters of another mother, y'all might get mad at me, but I contribute. I practice what I preach. I've never gone to a Mercedes-Benz dealership and not bought from a black salesman. Because, let me explain why. Because every time when I got out of school, I worked in that industry. And I know for a fact that there were white folks that would not buy cars or would not do financing with me because of the color of my skin. Not only do I know it for a fact, I didn't have to assume it. A manager told me one day, Mr. and Mrs. such and such, this was 30 years ago, I can't remember who they are. They were Western Hills people. Paul White and I worked at Kingswood Chrysler Plymouth. And this couple came into the dealership, a white couple, and I bust my ass. I yes sir'd, no ma'am, they asked all night. They were buying a Chrysler Fifth Avenue, which was a dope ass car back then, and they were like $35,000, which was a lot of money for a car back then. And I was a young buck. I was maybe 19 or 20 years old, fresh out of school. No, I was about 20. And I did everything. I was their do boy, so to speak. I hate to say it that way, but shit, I did everything they asked me to do. I made sure that everything was ready, and I pulled it up front, let them go on test drives. I did everything a good young guy should do to make a commission. Well, this family, they come back off test drive, they sit back, they talk to me for a hot second. They asked me to go get my manager. I go get my manager. The manager comes back. He says, hey, Randall, what's going on? I said, well, they want to speak to you. And that was pretty proper procedure back then. So I didn't think anything of it. Well, they get the manager over there. And when the manager come over, his name was Denny. Denny and I go over to talk to the couple. And the couple asked me, they said, he's a nice young man, but we want to talk to the manager. We want to talk to the manager and their manager only. So Denny, the manager, asked me to leave. We were at my desk. He asked me to leave. I left. Denny probably, I thought, was putting the deal together. The couple gets up, walks out the door, and leaves. I go to Denny and I say, Denny, what happened? My manager, Denny, says to me, he said, well, I don't know about them. Now, Denny's a short white guy, like an Italian type of dude. I looked up to him. Not literally, because he was shorter than me, but I looked up to him as a man because he was a pretty good guy, I thought. So I said, damn, man, I've been dealing with those folks for 2 hours. Come to find out, the couple went home, back all the way over to Western Hills. Denny sent the car to the back to be cleaned up. Brand new car. The couple come back the next day on my off day to pick the car up. The craziest thing about that situation is I found out about it. And how I found out about it is one of the white salesmen told me. He said, Denny didn't want to tell you, man, but those people, you might want to talk to Denny about that. I'm going to let Denny tell you. So I go in and have a meeting with my manager, Denny, and Denny and I sit down and he says to me, yes, they bought the car. They came in and got it. They're coming in to get it today. It was the next day. It was my off day, but I came in. I was one of them guys. I didn't have an off day. On paper, I was off, but I was there every day. So the couple come in that evening to buy the car, but you didn't hear what the whole story was, and it was this. Denny told me right to my face. He said, those people are a little older, Randall, and they don't see the world like we see it. I said, well, what the fuck that mean? He says, these people told me that they're going to buy this car, but they're not going to buy it from you. I said, well, what did I do to them? I didn't do anything to them. Now, I'm a 19, 20-year-old kid. He said, they're not going to buy it from you, man. They're West Siders. They're from the West Side. They're black. I mean, you're black. They're white. They're not going to buy. It shook me. It shook me. And that's why the moral to the story is this. You might call me a racist, but those situations still happen today, whether you believe it or not. But every time I walk my ass into a Mercedes-Benz dealership, I look for someone that looks like me. And I haven't bought a Mercedes in 20 years without looking for somebody that looked like me. Some may not understand that. Some may not get it. Some may not appreciate that. Some might not truly understand. But I spend money with people that look like me. I don't mean to be racist. I don't mean to be any of that. But what happens is this, folks. I watch people go buy houses And some of the black folks that can buy $500,000 houses and $1 million houses, they don't even consider to look for a black realtor. Don't even consider it. And that's why I have my lunch ready for these folks when they get to coming back to the black platforms and talk about their issues and they got messed up with racial under-hitting their properties. Well, if you already that conscious about shit like that, if you that conscious about having chips on your shoulder that you black and you live in a 92 percentile white area, and you think somebody gonna do you crazy with your appraisal and that's what happened to you, or it's possible. Here's the thing. I'm not even gonna put it in your head. You put it in your head because you already told us on the platform that we was listening to you on. You said your grandmother and your grandfather told you that these things happen. Your mother and your father told you that these things happen. And now I knew better. So that means when you put your house on the market, you should have been dealing with somebody that might have some familiarities of the shit that we may go through. Is that just a reach? Is that a reach, or is that true? Because here's the thing. When I seek out a black salesperson to help me when I buy a $150,000 car, when I reach out to get a guy like that, he's already saying to me, thank you. Because $150,000 licks don't walk through the door every day. $80,000 licks don't walk through the door every day. And when they do, they don't look for me. When I bought my house, I used the brother. Actually, it was a husband and wife real estate team, but I had been using them for years. So, anybody that wants to challenge that, I got plenty of receipts. I can call Westchester. I can call Mercedes-Benz of Westchester. I can call Clyde right now. He's been selling me cars for 10 years. So when I hear stories like, oh, I got racial, the property got hit low, my first question was this. First thing jumped in my mind. Did they have a black realtor? Some of you was probably thinking like, what that got to do with it? Why would that even matter? Let's ask Tiffany Daniels if it matters. Let's ask Steve Spencer if it matters. Let's ask Joycelyn Leathers if it matters. Let's ask Giovanni if it matters. These are brothers and sisters that I know right in the Cincinnati area that sell homes. If I list my house, I'm going to use one of them. Or I use the people that I use. Angela Kennedy says this. Kenny, I'm sorry, I said Kennedy. I'm sorry, Kenny. I'm sorry, Angela. She says, double check. The husband said realtor was white female and that she was processing it. I'm sorry. Let me put my tools on. I apologize. It's pretty long. She says, double checked. The husband said realtor was white female. Kind of knew that. And that she was processing if it in the future for her brown or black clients that she needs to advise them differently than white clients. See, that's the shit. That's the chaos agent shit I'm talking about. No, what she need to do is advise all her clients the same thing. If she was good at her job, she would have told them like what Tiffany Daniels said. Take down personal shit. They're not here to see Lil Johnny's first place plaque. They're not here to see you and your wedding pictures, or they're not here to see your African art or your European art or your Asian art. That's not what they're here to see in the first place. A real estate agent would have just told them the right thing out the gate. It wouldn't have been no black or white thing. And let me tell you something. If you really want to get critical, this is the shit that I really be talking about. Chaos agents make shit real too simple. Real easy for me to dispute the bullshit that they talk and that they promote. Let me explain something to you. You always know that there's one person in the black community that if it's something wrong, like if it's a poison, that those that want us to fail to that poison, they will always let one black make all the money and let one black in to destroy everything, right? Let's bring up one person by mind. Freeway Ricky Ross, the real Ricky Ross, not the motherfucker that's rapping and making up shit, talking about the game and ain't never done none of that shit. I'm talking about real Freeway Ricky who dealt with the CIA. They let him bring in drugs. They let him fuck up the communities. They let him tear shit down. A lot of people got arrested. He didn't. He made a deal with the devil. My point, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Loveland, Ohio is 92% white. Why? If anything, they gonna pay these Negroes more money to go away. They're not gonna hit the property less. That's not how shit go. They're gonna be like, yeah, let's get their ass out of here. We gonna give them property, all that. If cynical minds want to know, if cynical minds really want to know, you got 92 percentile that gets hurt by one racist situation. They smarter than that. Why would you give somebody way less to tear up a market, an entire market? Why would you do that? So everybody's house is worth 500,000, but yours is worth 400,000. So the next person that sells, you do know there's a scale that goes out and says, well, you know, the houses around the way are worth this, but this one sold for 400,000. You're setting a tone. You're bringing down everybody's property value by underselling your property. Makes no sense. Why would the 92 percentile allow that to happen? What makes you think you so special that they want to fuck you up so bad that they willing to hurt themselves? Don't work that way. If long as it's just a few and a 1 or 2, if long as it's a 4%, man, they will give 4% top dollar to get up out of there. Let me give you another situation. Look at the West End. Who do you feel got cheated down there when they was buying that property up to make those big power moves down there for the FCC stadium? If we would have owned that property, we would have got top dollar. They wouldn't have said, oh, y'all black, y'all got to go. You can't, this shit ain't worth nothing. And then surprise, here come a stadium. They would have paid your ass top dollar, but we didn't own that property. Prince, we all know racism is real, but racism exists in certain areas. It exists in certain plays. One thing I know for sure is money is green. And it's just certain things that people won't do to hurt them. Everybody ain't dumb. Everybody ain't going, some people, I got this little thing that I say. Some people, I've said it bad and I know I'm bad for saying this, but men and women tend to pay back each other different. We get mad at each other different. And one thing I say is women can be so y'all could be so hard on payback. If we push you to the point of you wanting to pay a nigga back, y'all payback is way more treacherous than ours. All right. You willing, if we riding down the street on a cliff and I'm driving and I say something wrong, you willing to hit the steering wheel and push us both over the cliff just to punish me? Think about that shit. Think about what you just did, sis. To punish my ass, you took us both over the cliff. Now, how you gonna work this out? Yeah, y'all could be treacherous sometime when it comes to that shit. But other people, some people, are methodical in their plays. And it don't make sense to me. It's not like it's a black community. Here's where the racism happens, how it can happen. If you're trying to move people out of a neighborhood and you want to take it over, then you can have people come in there and you can devalue the property. You can have people come in there and take the value, suck the equity out of the area. That's what happens. You don't find yourself in prime location and you get treated, they take the equity out of your property by being racist. And it's going to suffer. The whole community, the 92 percentile is going to suffer because of that. That's not how it works. That's not how it quite works. Here's the other thing. The same people that holler this same shit don't have a black realtor to go to and say, hey, didn't this shit happen? You got to talk to a white lady who says, well, next time I know how I got to treat my other color people, my clients. Now, that realtor didn't do you service because they didn't tell you what to do out the gate that was proper for you or a white client. So maybe you had rookies all the way around. Get mad at me if you want to. I'm just telling you from somebody that got at least 10 properties in the last 10 years under his belt. I've sat down at a lot of closing tables in the last 10, 15 years. And when shit ain't right, I don't look at it as being, oh man, shit, you know. No, sometimes I think I might get looked upon like I can't buy something. That might be a little racial profiling or racial situation, but I ain't never been treated like they gonna take advantage of me, like hit me. They might try to hit me with a higher rate or something, but all you got to do is know your shit. But is that necessarily racist? You trying to tell me that if they get a square ass white dude sitting down at a table and can hit him for 1.5 higher, they not gonna do it? Shit. Stop it. Stop it. If they can hit his ass for 1.25 or 1.5 higher because he white, they'll get his ass too. So when they get to talking that shit about this happened to me because I'm the racial, I never believe shit like that. I'm not saying that certain things don't happen, but you got to be in this game to understand bullshit. And it's not, stop using racism as a convenient outlet, because what happens is this: people that truly go through shit, this don't serve them no good. It makes it difficult for us who truly face inequities. Stop. Thank you, David. David Ross said, my brother from Milwaukee, he said, true, it's called commission. Now, who wants to cut their commission? And then let me ask you something. This is for my bright people. My people that think that they discovered inequities and discovered the oppression and shit like that. Let me ask you something. How does that inspector, how does that appraiser benefit from that? The sea again, side of the ship. How? If anything, he's going to be written up. His license with the state could possibly be revoked if there's anything proven that he did that was yeah, call in. You can call in, David. You got the number? Let me put the number on the screen. Feel free to call in, bro. Let me see. There it is. Feel free to call in. 513-310. We about to close out here in a little bit, but you could be the final caller. You could be the caller of the day and get us up out of here. Yeah, we got a couple more minutes. I was about 10 minutes late. But how does that inspector, how does that appraiser, how do they benefit from that? What they get out of that? They don't know the buyer. They don't really know the seller. They don't know nobody. And they got all the information before they even come see you. They already knew you were black. It didn't take the pictures in the wall to tell them that shit. Hate to tell you that, but it's all public record. Let me take a call. Good evening. This is Wyatt. Is this David? Take the pictures in the wall to tell them. David.
Hey, what's up, Wyatt?
Hey, what's going on, my brother? How you doing this evening, man? You gonna close us out?
Man, I'm enjoying this conversation, brother. I like what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just deep.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you know a little bit about it because I know you were in the industry at one time, and I only know that from your Facebook postings. You see what I'm saying, bro?
Yes, sir. Well, I had an incident. No joke. I understand what you're saying, and I know a lot of us look for spots on the wall. A lot of people that's my color, melanated, we look for spots on the wall. But I found out that sometimes there are disparities in appraisals.
Mm-hmm.
I just had my property appraised 2 years ago, and it appraised at $59,000. No
Okay.
joke. I wouldn't care because I only paid 16 for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I still came way out. Over the last 2 years, you watched me. I did windows and siding and no roof, and I actually paid my white friend to walk through my property like it was his. And this year, no joke, the same property appraised at 185. I'll show you the paperwork.
You don't have to do that,
And I
bro.
had Mexicans do the side. Well, I had the Mexicans do the windows. It was $2,000. I had my Mexican friends do my siding. That was $2,000, and I bought the material. But that $5,000 I invested, it came back this year. I don't want to say it's because I'm black, but I gained $125,000 in 2.5 years by walking through with my friend and acting like it was his place.
Yeah,
and
but
you said,
Dave,
but
Dave,
everything.
Dave, let me
in
add,
the end, yes, sir. Go ahead.
let me just ask you a question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your flow. You know, you in the middle of your thing there. But didn't you increase? Didn't you add property? You bought a fixer upper. It sounded like you bought it for 16, right?
Yep, I bought it for 16.
Okay,
Yep.
you didn't plan on moving in it at 16,000, and you didn't plan on trying to rent it out at 16,000, right?
No, I did move in. I moved right into it. I moved in, and I did what I had to do. A lot of us don't do what we have to do.
Well, but you improved the
Because
property, though. What I'm saying, you said you hired some people to fix it up.
my white friend, yeah, I didn't really hire my ass just to walk through with the realtor. And when she walked up to the house at that time, I just had him standing out there, and she walked to him like it was his property. It was mine.
Dave, come on. Hey, so what you saying is this: when you bought it for 16,000, you brought a white person in to walk through it for what reason?
No, not that time. No. When I refinanced it, sorry about that. No.
Okay.
When I bought it then, I bought it from the bank. It was a distressed property. It was foreclosed.
There you go. I understand.
So I bought it.
But what was
2
the
years
wait a minute,
ago,
hold
I
on.
had
You
did
bought
some
it
work
for,
on
hold on, Dave, because I want people to understand, because this makes sense. I just want to try to make people understand. I got shows that do shit like this and they leave people in the dark. I want to
Okay,
I want people to understand. So you bought it for 16, but what was the value of it? What was the tax value of it?
46.
Okay, 46,000 tax value.
Yes.
With no
Yes.
improvements, no nothing.
Yeah, that's what the tax value was. Yeah.
Okay, what was the going rates for all the houses in the area? There's a radius that they have. It's
16 to 26 and $30,000.
so how does a house that's around an average of 16,000 go from even if it's worth 46 on paper, how does it go up $100,000 in an area where they don't have $100,000 houses?
Well, they did. People call it gentrification. I call it having your credit right, your property right, to get the maximized out of your property. So you know what I mean? But I did see it happen. So I cannot, I can't act like it don't happen, because my property went up from $59,000 2 years ago when I walked through with the realtor, and I had my Obama pictures on the wall. I had my pictures of everything, just the stuff we have in our house, my Black Jesus and all that. But like they told me, take that stuff down. I started doing my research. I took all that stuff down. I took all so you couldn't tell whose house it was. And when she came, actually, the value just came out 3 weeks ago. I posted it on Facebook. It really is true. I don't like, me, I hate to complain about stuff when it's not there. And most of the time, we are our biggest problem. Me being a black man, I was always my biggest problem. Anything I ever did, I did. Anything they ever said, I did. I understand. And probably much more. So, I can't blame everybody else.
I got you.
But I've seen it, especially in Wisconsin, which is the most segregated state in America.
Yeah, I got you. I just think that I got some different ways.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think there's different situations going on with yours with what we had here in Ohio here recently. You bought a piece of property for like an investment piece of property. You fixed it up, you did what you needed to do. It's a little bit different than when people put their house on the market, and the same day they list it, they get 5 offers, and then an appraiser comes in and says that the house is worth $92,000 less.
Oh yeah, that's totally different.
That's a little bit different.
Totally different.
You're talking about
know, I caught the end of the show, man. I always watch it. I'm gonna make sure I catch the show.
I appreciate
that. I want to be there, you know, because you really talk about some stuff that ain't nobody talking about.
Well, I try.
But sometimes we gotta have our credit right.
Oh, that's a definite.
We gotta invest in our house is our biggest investment.
Yeah.
So we got to take that money and put it back into our property.
So Dave,
when they do come through, it's ready.
Dave, let me ask you this, because I seen you made a comment when I made a comment. Okay, you wrote a comment off of a comment that I said, and that was, if I'm a black guy and I'm sitting down in front of my closing and I have a 1.5% higher than okay, I mean, let me rephrase the question.
Well, now they changed those disparities, because like in the car business, it used to be like that too, where you can change people, like you can get a 1.5 off somebody and this and that. Nowadays, your credit score, because of all those discrepancies, your credit score is your credit score. If you got a 5 to 600, this is your score. 5, 6 to 700 is your score. 7, 800 is your rate. Back in the day, like when you say 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when you was in the car business, you could buy a car and they could pull a rate out. They used to even give you money back to bump their commission up. So I've seen it all. And I've seen them, just like you said, oh my goodness, when you said you came back to work and the people didn't want to deal with you.
Yeah. And
I've seen that so many times, man. But I also found out that it was the managers that was doing it to me.
Yeah.
They would call my customer the next day when I was off. They would get my customer to come back, and they would lower the numbers from when I had the deal.
And did you get any of the commission, or did they give it to the house mouse?
Well, you know, sometimes they give it a house, but you know, if you selling 30 cars a month like I did, they made you split the deal.
Okay, I got you.
But that was once I learned the business. But before that, I used to come in, they'd be like, oh, your customer just didn't want it. But in the same instance, I had a white guy that pulled up with Confederate flags, part of the KKK. At the end of him dealing with this other white guy, he wanted to deal with me. He called the N-word. I'll deal with the N-word, you know, compared to dealing with the white guy.
I got you.
We became best friends.
Wow.
He you know what I mean? No, boys, during the sale, he bought 3 cars from me, full list.
Yeah.
Full list. It's just me playing the role like, hey, I can't buy a car. You know, I got to go home and ask my wife. So you should go home and ask your wife and make sure this is in your budget. Right. He was like, I don't have a budget. I can do what I want. So sometimes we have to learn how to flip the switch. We blame everything on white people. We've been around white people all our damn lives. We've been around white people since slavery. You know, we got to learn to stop complaining about stuff and use that same energy to make a change. Yeah. And I watch you, man. You inspire me, bro. I swear, you just don't know.
I appreciate
you keep saying from Milwaukee. I'm born and raised in Cincinnati.
I know, but you live in Milwaukee. That's what I said. I never said that you were from. I said, well, I might have said my brother from Milwaukee, meaning that's where you're at. You know, I don't mean you're from there.
I'm down there from Pendleton.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're from down the way. You're from down the way.
I only think it's 5 properties now.
Okay, good.
So I believe we can do what we want. And to be serious, when I was in Cincinnati, I was on crack.
I got you.
I went to prison.
I know, you told the story.
I didn't have a high school education.
I got you.
But I learned to make the most out of what I had. And I learned the only person that could stop me is me.
And who do you hold accountable for all that information?
Myself.
There you go, Dave.
Like I said, when I got in trouble, I don't say, oh, I didn't do that. I did that. I did that and more. You know, everybody did things, you know, but sometimes we have to learn how to hold ourselves accountable before we can move on to anything bigger and better.
Yeah. So it was something. You knew exactly what I was talking about when I said some people don't want to come in and buy from us. And you understand what I mean when I say
you gave me goosebumps.
I look for the brother. I look for the brother or the sister when I go in and buy my car or whatever. I do that not because I feel that we're better. I just know what we go through being in those positions. It's harder for us to get commissions. We just don't look out for each other like that. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I got a couple more minutes.
I said I used to do that too, but now I look at it as who's the salesperson, the best salesperson.
I got you.
Because you can walk on a showroom full of black people too, and none of them will speak to you.
Sure.
You can walk in a showroom full of white people, and none of them will speak to you.
Sure.
You know, so there you can walk. You know, you can walk straight through the whole sales room, sales floor at Mercedes sometimes, and they say you kick your tires. I'll let him go. He looked at the price tag and he's gone.
Right.
You know, so everybody gets judged. You know, so I just look at it. You know, I want to be. I don't want to just stand out. I want to be outstanding.
Absolutely.
So you know, and I want to show people. You know, everybody don't know. There's something called white mediocrity that nobody talks about.
Oh.
Can you understand? You know what I mean? To understand reading your books that you're supposed to have slaves, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to have that, and you got a brother like you or a brother like me out here making things happen. That's gotta hurt. And then the other people are living and renting just like, you know, like all the other black people, but we don't see that. All the white people in my area, and I love the white people in my area where I grew up at, Madisonville, made me who I am today. After my mom moved me from downtown Pendleton, she moved us out to the suburbs. But just that interaction, I don't fear people. I don't fear white. I don't fear black. I treat everybody the same. And you know, I guess they say if you smile in the mirror is gonna smile back at you.
Right.
Most of the time, we won't smile in the mirror. Everybody wants to be like us. You know, but you know, look at sports, look at basketball, look at baseball, look at tennis, look at running. Everybody, you know, we so powerful that if our young black kids start walking around calling themselves derogatory, like the N-word, everybody else don't want to be yo my N-word. Now Chinese people want to be yo my N-word. White people want to be yo my N-word. Mexican want to be. We have so much power that we can take all that negativity and make it positive. That's how much the power we have, but we don't see it. Just like our parents didn't see it in us. They were like, oh, they fools. They walking around with these old high water pants and their socks pulled up and their pants pulled up to their stomach. Now they're walking around with their pants down. You know what I mean?
I understand.
You damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
I got it. All right. Hey, Dave, I appreciate you, man, coming in and giving us your opinion and giving us your, you know, I really appreciate it.
Man.
Thank you.
Watch.
I appreciate you. All right, man.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Don't be a stranger, brother.
Never.
All right, bro. All right, man. That's David from Cincinnati who lives in Milwaukee. I got it right this time. He's actually a really good dude. I watch his Facebook. He cooks a lot. And, you know, during the pandemic, I was tuning in and kind of watching him a lot because I liked the way he was cutting fish and doing certain things. He's a really nice guy, man. You know, I don't know about that situation with the $16,000 property, and I get it. It was worth 16 when it was worth 46 on paper, tax value. He bought it for 16. I get those numbers. I can understand distressed property buy. I get it. I've done it. But how it's worth 180 now, I don't know. There must be some different demographics because if I'm not mistaken, it's not just the people that live right next door to you. I know it's not. It's not the people that live right across the street from you. It's within a certain mile radius. So maybe there's a high development or something going on, a hot development going on within those. Maybe a complex is opening up. I don't know. Maybe there's some land that was recently purchased close by that upped the value. But it's hard to have a house. I don't care what city you're in, Cincinnati, wherever, Florida, wherever you are, what state, wherever you are. It's hard to have a house and your house is worth 4 times, 5 times what everybody else's house is worth. That's very difficult to do. I guess it's doable. Here's the thing. If you buy a house, let's just use this as an example. And I know people probably tripping. They didn't come here for this, but I don't want to leave people dangling. I want this to make sense. You buy a house. I want to use a figure of $300,000. You buy a house for $300,000. That's what the market in that area calls for. Most of the time, most of the houses right around that area, that radius, are right around the same pocket. They right around the same thing. Well, let's say, for instance, you do certain home improvements. You add a swimming pool that's worth $35,000. You put $35,000 into your swimming pool in the backyard. Let's say you do some home improvements on the outside and you put a tennis court and you spend $10,000. Okay, these are things that the other homes don't have. Now, what you think you might be doing is upping the value of your home, when in fact you might be pricing your home out, taking it out of the market of the area. I think some of my real estate friends know what I'm talking about. I didn't make that error, but I was going in that direction on a property once before. You know, because you have a $300,000 house and you add a swimming pool that's worth $35,000, that does not mean your house is now worth $335,000. It's still only worth the market value of what people will pay. Now yours will be worth, okay, will they buy my house for $350 or the people next door for $350? Chances are they'll buy mine for $350. I'm just using these numbers as an example. Because I have more amenities, I have more luxuries, right? But now let's just say my house is worth $300, but I put the swimming pool in and a basketball court. I have $70,000 worth of equipment. I mean, amenities are, extras to my house. Now I look at my house and I say my house is worth $375, $399, $400,000. But everybody else's house is still worth $300. What am I doing to my market? Somebody gonna come pay me $400,000 for a house that's in a neighborhood where everybody else is worth $300,000? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I've seen a neighbor of mine right here in Cincinnati do the same thing. I've seen him do it. The only difference is, and I ain't trying to be funny, I ain't trying to break my arm, pat myself on the back, but the taller the numbers are, it's a little easier to get away with that type of shit. Because when you start spending over certain digits, 40,000, 50,000 and shit like that kind of don't really make that much of a difference. I'm just being honest. But when you're talking about houses, let's just 500,000 on down, maybe 750 on down, it could be a major difference when you adding too much to a property. Just being honest with you. You can outmarket your home. You can put too much into your home and nobody will buy it. It'll just be the sharpest house on the block. Matter of fact, short story, it's only 30 seconds. My mother-in-law lived in Baltimore Avenue in Westwood, Fairmount. We had a dope dealer years and years and years ago. Some of y'all might even know who I'm talking about. There was a drug dealer that bought a house right across the street from the little school down there on Baltimore Avenue. Well, he bought the house. It wasn't nothing but maybe a $60,000, $70,000 house. He bought it. It was messed up. He fixed it up. This dude put a gate on a house in the hood. He put a swimming pool, a little small swimming pool with a hot tub to the side off on it. And he parked his Mercedes in the driveway. And I'm like, that house is better than every house over here. But he can't sell it. And the only thing that's going to happen is when he go to jail, somebody going to hit a lick on that house and they going to buy it for the regular $60,000 that it's truly worth. And it's going to have a swimming pool, a little bitty basketball court. It happened. It really happened. I'm sad to say. He ended up going to jail. I don't know how long it took somebody to take over the house or whatever. Stephanie Hyatt said this: Wyatt, are you saying that upgrades can make you lose value on your home? Some upgrades can. Some can. Some things are not meant for every home because of the area. Now, there's some homes that have swimming pools and things of that nature, and others don't. And there you might have a couple that sprinkle a swimming pool in their backyard, and it might make sense. But you can overspend for those things and not be compensated for them on the end because you might overprice your home. All right, I didn't got off course. I'm trying to see if I got my thing in here. It's time for us to get up out of here. It's time to go. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to have that crackhead video tomorrow for y'all. I can't load it. I don't know what happened. Damn it. It's my fault. Blame Wyatt. That'll give us something to trip out on Freestyle Friday. It'll give us an opportunity to have a great time on Freestyle Friday. We can sit back and laugh and have a good thing going. I got something else I want to do. I didn't get a chance to do it because Afghanistan took over my entire first hour. I said I was going to talk about mothers keeping their kids from the fathers, even if the father is not in the kid's life or not with the woman. I got an issue with that. I'm going to show you guys a video. I was going to do it today, but I can't. I'm out of time. I can't do it right now because I'm out of time. But tomorrow, I want to have this conversation. I hate to do it on a Friday because on a Friday, we don't get a lot of audience. But I'm going to give it a shot because maybe it'll flicker over into a part 2. And maybe I'll say some things tomorrow about have an opinion about these things tomorrow. And then you'll come at me and I'll have to lick my wounds over the weekend and we'll have maybe a part 2. You know what I mean? Maybe a part 2 on Monday. But my thing is this. I want to show you the picture. I want to show you the picture of what I'm talking about. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, that's the milk crate guy. I can't show you the picture. But I got a video of a brother who had to sneak to meet his kid and give her back to school book bag with supplies and a little gift that he gave her. And I want to know why this brother had to sneak to go see his own child. What mothers are doing this? You're not going to like what I have to say about this shit, but we're going to bring it up tomorrow. And I think that's going to be my conversation tomorrow. And I'm going to start out with that. And that is, why are brothers having to sneak? Is that what we doing now? Because if he don't pay child support or if he's not around, he can't see his kid? Well, maybe, even if he's wrong and not around, just maybe, kids have a way of making you feel a little guilty. And I can tell you right now, just maybe, ladies, if you let the man see his child, maybe that'll change something in him. Maybe he'll step up. He might not still want to be with your ass. He may not want to be with you, but maybe he'll want to do something for his child that you have brainwashed or you have said, he ain't shit. I don't want him around here. You can't see him and all of that. I don't know. We're going to talk about it tomorrow though, on Wyatt-Live at 5 o'clock. See you then. Let me see. Did you send a message to me? Did he send a message or no? Let me see something here. Oh, he did. I'll go over it tomorrow, Rick. I'll go over it tomorrow. My bad. I thought Rick was about to tell me something that I needed to know for this show, and that's my apologies. Hey, Rick, holla at me tomorrow about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Look, this is Wyatt. I'm out of here, man. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm getting on them ladies' ass tomorrow about what they doing to their kids. Y'all better start letting them kids see their daddies. Even if they daddies ain't doing shit, it might help. This is Wyatt. I'm out. See you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Yes, 5 o'clock tomorrow. We're gonna try it. Yes. I do it like my grandmother used to do it. Keep on warring. Keep on shining.